it's Demo Donna here, and thanks for heading on over to my channel to learn another fun technique today using glitter, your fabulous die cutting machine, some dies, an awesome technique, and double-sided permanent adhesive tape. So I also put a little kit together for you. If you have all the materials and you can create these yourself, awesome. If you don't and you want to try it out, there is a link to a little sample kit, and in that kit, you are going to receive one Kiss Cut Smile, one Kiss Cut Poppy, one Kiss Cut Birthday Wishes, and then 3 blanks to either create your own or use some of the techniques that I show you here in this video. And we are going to be creating beautiful designs for your cards or paper crafting that look like these. So thanks so much for watching. Enjoy. If there is a tip or technique out there that you would love to see, leave it in the comments below and I will add it to my list. Here is the sandwich I'm going to show you to create the Kiss Cut technique. Now, again, this is not a beginner technique. It's definitely a very finicky technique. You have to have the right die, you have to have the right plates, you have to have the right cardstock weight. So play around with it. If you have all the materials in your possession now to give this a try today, awesome. You can always use some chipboard shims in replace of this transfer pad. But what I am using, and I'm using my Sizzix machine, and I'm using my travel size Sizzix machine. And the sandwich that I use is the standard platform, the thin die adapter, and then I take my cutting plate, just one of them. I have my 110-pound cardstock and my 2-inch double-sided permanent adhesive tape. Then I'm going to place my die, and then I am placing the transfer pad, and I like it face down, and then I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. And now what you end up getting is just the top layer of the tape is cut out. You do see an imprint on the back of your cardstock, and sometimes there'll be a piece here or two cut out. Obviously, like I said, play around with the die. Some of them have a little higher edging, so they cut deeper than others. That's why I like the thicker cardstock for this technique. Basically, that is how this is done. Here is what you are going to be receiving in this sample kit, and I will have the link in the description. So what I've provided for you is one beginner, so that has the word smile, so you're going to get the word smile Kiss Cut, and then an actual strip of just the tape. Then you're going to get, let's go with this one next, beginner, medium, and then advanced. So next you're going to get the beautiful poppy die, and then a blank, and then you're going to get a birthday wishes and a blank. And I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing with each of the 2 pieces, or you can take that second piece and use it to practice with some of your dies, creating your own Kiss Cut technique. The first one I'm going to do is smile. And this is a good beginner place to start because you're really just popping off the smile. So I'm going to take my craft pick and I am just going to gently remove this. You want to make sure you don't rip this. So definitely be gentle with it because this is going to be my stencil for my second piece. So now when you're going over places like this, just make sure you hold those in place. And I'm talking about the little negative pieces. I want that piece of the E to be there when I put on my first glitter color. And now I'm going to take off the dot of my eye. Don't lose the dot of your eye, but you can always just stick a rhinestone or a pearl if you lose the little dot of your eye. It's an easy fix. And I am going to take my Beautiful fuchsia color. I'm using microfine glitters or super fine. You can really use any type of glitter, play around with them. These are from my stash. So I am just pouring some on, taking my finger tool and just blending them right in. So this is like cosmetic grade glitter, very fine. Next, I'm gonna tap off the excess, and then I'm gonna take a resist brush and just wipe that off. You could play around with different brushes for this technique. I am just gonna wipe that off there. And I've got a beautiful, crisp smile. I have a beautiful, crisp smile. Thanks for noticing. All right, once I am happy with that, I'm just gonna go over to the end here. Actually, always take out your center bits first because you can still hold on to all of this covered area. So I'm gonna take off that center of the E, just pop that out, and you could throw this piece away. You do not need this piece if you can get it. You can do this with your craft pick and a set of tweezers or fingernails. Pop that guy out. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this piece here. I'm throwing this away. For those of you that like to save everything, you could save that if you want. Now I've got this great background, and I'm just gonna apply a nice sparkly clear glitter. Finger tool, rub that in. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. Take my brush again, wipe that all off. I always like to wipe my little fingers off too. There we go. And that is the first one, the first kit cut in your sample kit, and that is Smile. So that one's pretty simple to do. So that's what I would start with. Okay, the next thing that you're gonna do is you are gonna take this strip here, and I'm just gonna simply take my finger tool, and I'm gonna peel that off and save this, because you can take any of your dies that fit on this and create your own stencils. So you can create one of these by using this material. So now I'm gonna take my Smile, and I am just gonna place that right there, just tapping that down with my fingernail tool. Take the little dot of my Smile. Now I'm gonna take that piece that I removed, and I am just using this to push down the word Smile without touching that adhesive. So once I do that really well, I'm gonna go ahead and peel that up. And now we're working in reverse. So I am gonna take my lighter color first now, or I can go darker color. Ooh, I think I'm gonna do that. I like that idea. So I'm gonna take my pink, finger tool, burnish that in really well. There we go. I wish I had these colors available for you, but I'm just using them as a sample, again, from my stash. Tap all that off. Take your glitter brush. I'm gonna now take my craft pick, and I'm gonna start with my little eye here. Pop that guy out. And then my stencil, just gently lift that up. Again, I don't wanna rip it, so I can reuse it over and over again. Lift that up. And now that's nice and adhesive. And it's super sticky. You have a couple options here. You can use your gilding flakes, and that can be nice and silver. You can use an embossing powder and heat set it. I am gonna use a clear glitter again, just to show two techniques and how simple it is. Tap that off, take your brush, wipe that up, And there are the two different things you could do with Smile. Okay, with the medium one, this is gonna be my poppy die here. And I'm gonna use 3 different colors. And again, in my little sample kit, you get 2 strips for the poppy, 1 with the die, and a blank one for you to do a reverse technique or practice, whatever you like. So with this one, I'm gonna start with the center of my poppy here. I'm gonna peel that off. I'm gonna take a little black finger tool, take my brush and wipe that out. Step 1, complete. Step 2, I'm gonna pop off these centers, this little bud here. Remember, go gentle. Okay, I did not have a microfine red in my stash, so I found this. It's kind of a reddish orange, but that'll work. And it's like a regular cut glitter, so you could see that you could play around with what you have. This is a bigger cut glitter. Take my brush and wipe that off so you could see it's a thicker, this is kind of like the average glitter size. So I'm gonna gently peel off. This is a very thin die. So with this one, you may or may not want to use it as a stencil. Go very gently. If you have anything going the extra way, I wouldn't pull too hard as to rip it. There's a little centerpiece. I'm gonna lift up my little leaves down here. And there we go. And I am gonna use a microfine gold. We'll see how this turns out. Again, it will be fun to experiment. Should I have used green? Should I have done black? And maybe gold in the center of my flower? We'll see. Tap that off. Take my brush here. And now I have the inside of my Kiss Cut die complete. So I'm just gonna rip off gently, remove. And I do that every time. I tell you to go to the inside first and I do the outside first. So I would first take out these 2 little bits. There we go. Then take this off so you don't end up touching your adhesive. Big no-no. There we go. Now that's nice and sticky. And I'm gonna take my clear glitter again. Rub that around. And there we have a beautiful sparkly flower that you can add to the front of one of your cards or in a scrapbook layout. So now that I have my Kiss Cut Birthday Wishes die, I am gonna take my craft pick, and this particular die is actually all one piece. When you pop it off, the Birthday Wishes all comes off together. And I want to use these 3 different fun birthday colors. I'm using a purple, a pink or fuchsia, and a blue. But because this is all one piece, I'm just going to break it into 3 different pieces. So I'm just going to start by slowly picking up my first section. And what you want to do when you do this as well is make sure you are leaving behind these little pop-in pieces. So once you get that up a little bit even, you can just use your little craft pick to keep those pieces down. And this is what I'm talking about. You want to make sure this guy stay in place when you put your first color down. So I'm going to start with my beautiful fuchsia here. And again, I am just using glitters from my stash. These are all microfine or the super ultra fine, basically like makeup quality. And then I'm going to take my finger tool And I am just burnishing that down, applying a good, probably medium to heavy pressure. Wipe that off. And then I'm gonna take a static-free brush, also in my stash, and wipe that away. I'm gonna do a little circular motion, get all that loose glitter up, anything left behind that other little flap there. Now I'm gonna take the next piece and gently pull that off. Again, I'm gonna use my craft pick to just make sure these little extra pieces stay in place. Go ahead and take your craft pick, and if any of those negative pieces popped up when you were pulling your backing off, just poke them down. Just make sure they're stuck back in to your adhesive. And especially if you're going to fold this over, make sure that those negative pieces are still down. And then I'm gonna add my next color. I'm gonna do this beautiful purple from my stash. I don't really have any links to share with you on microfine glitters. Leave in the comments, how many glitters do you have in your stash? I did a quick count, and I have about 100 different glitter colors, not all microfine, different types, all retired, but happy to have a nice big glitter collection to pull from. And now for my last bit, and you can already tell how cool that is turning out. If you accidentally pop this guy off and I still have a negative piece in there, just go ahead, lay it right over, and I am just gonna pop that right down there. There we go. And it's back in its spot. Now I'm gonna add my last color, which is this beautiful blue. Finger tool, glitter brush here. And look at how beautiful that is. Nice and sparkly. We still have one piece left to peel off the background and all these little inserts. But I just love the way it turned out. Lots of sparkle. This is gonna be a great birthday card. Now I am peeling my whole background piece off. And this piece you could throw away. This piece you want to keep. So now I'm going to go in here and make sure everything is popped out. And I'm just taking my craft pick to lift it up. And then I am grabbing it with my fingernail tool. You can also use a tweezers. I'm going to take a clear glitter, rub that all over, take my finger tools. There we go. So cool. Tap that off. And that is my happy birthday banner for my card using the Kiss Cut technique. Trim up these edges and adhere that to my card front, and I'm good to go. So another really fun thing you could do with one of your blanks, again, you're gonna receive 3 with the dies and 3 blanks. And this is something I used to love to demo as well. And this is creating a really fun background. So I'm gonna take just a little piece of my edge off, and I am just gonna do a little tear motion with my tape. And this would be pretty for like beach scenes, or if you had a cute little shovel and a pail, you can do water. I'm just gonna do the 3 different colors that I have out, just so you can see how beautiful this turns out. But you could do some blues and you could do some grasses, a little grassy hill with some greens and maybe some browns, and have your flower sticking out of it. Or you could do a snowy mountain, maybe some white glitter on top. Lots of fun. Maybe a sunset. So there's strip number 1. And then I'm going to do strip number 2. I'm gonna do my purple. And strip number 3. Finger tool to rub that in. And there we go, that's it. You can now even take one of your dies that you have, cut out something in like a black cardstock or a white cardstock and layer that right on top, like a happy birthday or thank you. And that would be really cool in the center of a card as well. Okay, so there are technique number 1 that I showed you with our basic. Technique number 2 by using the reverse and a stencil out of your negative. Technique number 3 by using a flower with your other die. Well, I guess that was just technique number 1 all over again with flower. And there it is with our birthday wishes. Technique, we'll call this one technique number 3 with the 3 different colors. And then technique number 4 by creating a cool background with one of your blanks. So there are the fun techniques using this little sample kit that I put together for you. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below. I would love to hear how many glitters you have, or if you've never tried any of these, or if you got the kit and you tried it and you loved it, or if you have any questions. Awesome. Thank you so much and enjoy. Bye-bye.